Were you able to get the defendant to the patrol vehicle eventually?
Yes.
Okay. Did you try to follow up with him about getting his phone and shutting his car door?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I did obtain his phone. I brought it to the patrol car where he was in, and I kept requesting if he wanted to make a phone call, did he want help making a phone call, and he would not respond to me.
What ended up happening to his vehicle instead?
It was towed.
Okay. Now I want to talk about a different topic now.
Can we just pause for 1 second? I just want to know if this is going to pick up. Because I just don't, while she's talking, I don't know if we can hear, like, if it's going to pick up. Like, drown her out while she's talking.
It's not drowning.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption.
I want to transition in topics. After the defendant is placed into the patrol vehicle, did you have any opportunity to search the defendant's vehicle?
Yes.
And can you tell us about what that search looked like for you?
Yes. So I entered the vehicle through the open door, and I searched multiple cavities in the front seat and the back seat.
Did you find anything in the vehicle of particular importance to your investigation?
Yes, I found a insulated cup that obtained liquid, and in the center console in the cup holder, and I also obtained a liquor bottle from the seat cover pouch where the knees would go inside the vehicle in the driver's seat.
I want to break down what you just said, starting with the liquor bottle that you found. What kind of liquor bottle was this?
It was a bottle of yellowish liquid labeled vodka.
Was it labeled anything other than vodka when you looked at it?
It was vodka infused with cognac.
Okay.
And the brand was on it.
After you find this bottle of liquor in the defendant's near the front seat of his vehicle, what do you do with it?
I pour it out.
Why did you pour it out?
Because, number one, our policy to impound, you cannot have liquids. And at the time, my mindset was that I was going to be impounding it. And then also, if the vehicle was going to be moved by a relative, I was not going to have alcohol inside the vehicle at the time.
Is disposing of alcohol standard within your field for...
Objection, relevance. What's standard in the field is not relevant to this case.
I'll rephrase the question. Is it standard protocol for you as an officer in your investigation to withdraw or to dispose of alcohol that you
Yes.
find?
Objection, I still say relevant.
This directly goes as to why she decided to dump out the vehicle or dump out the liquor. Again, relevance is an extremely low bar. It's relevant to this proceeding. As we know in the previous hearing, there was many questions. The defense was told that they are allowed to cross-examine on this topic, why she decided to do that. In anticipation for that cross-examination, this witness has the ability to testify as to why she decided to do this and why this is standard within her field to do so. Therefore, it is absolutely relevant to this proceeding.
For a response, I argue that it's not relevant. And again, we're at trial, not a hearing before, and we have not yet cross-examined the witness. So credibility isn't at issue yet. Well, I mean, it's always an issue, but we haven't attacked her credibility yet. Just for the record.
Yes, and just for the record, it still is always at issue. Therefore, a witness's credibility in this situation, even though the cross hasn't happened, it's still relevant. And relevance is an extremely low bar. Therefore, it is relevant to today's proceedings.
Just as a response, though, everything is not relevant just because it's a low bar, but you may answer the question.
Do you mind asking the question again?
Officer, is it standard within your investigation to dump out liquor that you may find in a vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to talk about the second item that you found inside the vehicle. You also mentioned earlier that you found an insulated cup. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And how were you able to determine what was in this cup? Or
When I picked it up, I smelled it, and it smelled of alcohol.
okay. And where was it located when you found it?
It was in the cup holder in the center console.
And to clarify, would that be the cup holder directly next to where the defendant was sitting?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I want to switch gears again. After you searched the vehicle, At any point, is the defendant moved from one patrol vehicle to another?
Yes.
Can you tell us what that process looked like for you?
Yes. Due to the behaviors of the defendant in the aggravated state that he was in, he's much larger than we are, and so for officer safety reasons, I called my sergeant to assist us in removing him from my vehicle to another marked patrol vehicle.
You said that his behavior was part of the reason. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yes, so he was hollering at Officer Muth and I. He seemed agitated, and he even attempted to not get into the vehicle when we were trying to put him in the vehicle the first time.
Was he cursing during this period of time?
I don't remember.
Okay. And did you mention earlier that you had a call for backup?
Yes,
Who did you call?
my direct sergeant,
Okay. And who was that direct sergeant?
Sergeant Smith.
Okay. And okay. Now, during your entirety of the interactions you had with the defendant, can you tell us, did he smell of anything in particular?
Yes,
Can you tell us about that?
yes. So I believed he reeked of alcohol,
Okay. And what did his vehicle smell like?
alcohol and marijuana.
Okay. No further questions.
So, Officer Oliver, on May 7th, 2023, you pulled over a white Mercedes, correct?
Yes,
And you pulled the car over for failure to turn on headlights at night, is that right?
in speeding. Yes,
Speeding, okay. And you were wearing a body-worn camera at the time of the incident.
yes.
When the video comes on, he's already stopped?
No.
No.
When the video comes on, I'm still driving.
Okay. When you get out of the car, though, your camera is still on, correct?
Yes,
His left blinker was on, is that correct?
I don't remember.
Would viewing your body-worn camera footage from that night refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Are y'all okay with me just playing directly from Axon since I don't have a disc player currently?
No objection.
Okay. I'm just playing her body-worn camera from the beginning point, and I'll announce the end point.
Final stop's gonna be Laura Lee and Monroe.
For the record, I'm pausing it at the 59-second mark. After reviewing your body-worn camera footage, did Mr. Riley have his left blinker on?
Yes.
And that's because he got over to the left to stop for the traffic stop, is that correct?
Yes.
And when he got over, he put the car in park?
Yes.
And once Mr. Riley stopped, you approached his left side?
Yes.
And that's the driver's side?
Yes.
You asked him for his license and registration?
Yes.
He let you know that he did not have his license on him?
No.
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 So that's your testimony here today?
Yes, he was looking for it.
Okay. But he let you know at some point during the stop that he did not have his license on him, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And it was not later found in the car that night,
No.
even after your extensive search.
No.
And you asked him about a wallet, is that correct?
Correct.
And he let you know that he did not have one.
Yes.
And he let you know that he keeps his money in a bank.
Correct.
And he pays for things with his phone.
Yes.
And people can pay for things with their phones, correct?
Correct.
For example, Apple Pay is a thing now.
Correct.
But he did provide you with the registration for his car.
He handed me a piece of paper with his name on it.
Which was the registration for his car, correct?
I don't remember what exactly the paper was.
And then you continued to ask him questions, is that correct?
Correct.
But he stayed on topic.
Pretty much.
When he did not have his license, he gave you his name.
Yes.
He told you it was Calvin Riley.
Yes.
He gave you his date of birth,
Yes.
and that's April 3rd, 1968.
I don't remember from knowledge, but yes.
He gave you his correct birthday,
Yes.
correct? And Mr. Riley let you know that he thought his lights were automatically on when he drove.
Yes.
But you showed him that the switch for automatic lights was not on.
Correct.
So you switched it on for him.
Correct.
So when he drove, the lights would then automatically be on.
I don't remember if I turned them on or put them on auto, but they were on when I turned them on.
Right, so if he continued to drive, then his lights would automatically
Correct.
be on. And that's because the car had automatic lights.
I don't remember if it had an auto setting.
You don't remember if there was an auto setting?
No.
Did you not just testify seconds ago that you turned it on to the auto setting?
No, I said that I turned it on. I don't know if it was on the auto setting or just on.
But a switch needed to be turned on to put the lights on, correct?
Correct.
And at some point you went back to your patrol vehicle
Yes.
and you ran his information.
Yes.
Came up with his correct birthday,
Correct.
came up with his correct address,
Correct.
and that's 429 West Brevard Street.
Correct.
And you believe that he knew that his license was suspended, correct?
Correct.
You believe that's the reason why he didn't have his license.
Correct.
And you checked whether his license was suspended, correct?
Correct.
And on that, it confirmed that his address was 429 West Brevard Street.
Correct.
May I see that? And you testified earlier that notices were sent to that address, is that correct?
Correct.
I am now presenting the witness, which has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit Number 2. Can you please show me where in this it says that it was sent to that address?
So notices are sent to whatever residential address is on there. So the residential address says 429 West Brevard Street.
But you did not mail those notices.
I did not personally know.
So can you show me where it specifically says that those specific notices were sent to that address?
The notices would be sent to residential address.
So you're assuming.